everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. Mine was relaxing and, of course, watching the football games. Really, which team I would like to see get beaten by the Seahawks. um, Tonight is there's one game tonight, one left in the wild card. I've forgotten who's against who, but um, we will watch and see, and of course, the Seahawks will be facing the San Francisco 49ers next Saturday. I don't know why. They haven't determined the time yet. They'll know as soon as this final game is over with because they like to schedule everybody at once, not separately. Unless there is a venue issue or, weather venue, because not all stadiums are covered. Um, Now, I do believe the Seahawks game is covered. Um, or have a movable roof. I know the T-Mobile Park does. Um, well, we don't want any of the players to get hurt. Anyway, hi, and for all the events that's been happening since end of last week and start of this week. As you can see in my title, as a human race, why do we do these things to ourselves? That's a very good question. Why? We as a human race have a power to set things straight and say, no, rules were put there, laws and rules were put there for a reason. And by public demand and everything, the rules will be put there. Problem is, you have a person like Trump who he doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. Okay? And he's been allowed to get away with things. Well, he shouldn't be anymore. He should be held accountable. So, in my view, Congress, get off your duff. And you were talking about impeaching Noam. Well, impeach Trump and everybody too. Do everybody in a whole one fell swoop. Get professional people in there that knows public service, knows how things work in various each of the departments and everything in the cabinet. Get professional people in there with common sense and follow the rules and have worked in that capacity, if you will. Yes, Noam needs to go. Okay. She's so stupid. She's never worked in the Department of Justice. She's never been in there. Okay. And neither has Bondi. Bondi may have a law degree, but she hasn't really worked in the courtroom and knows how things work. Okay. So I think they all need to go. They really do. Not down the road. Now. They need to go now. And if Trump doesn't like hearing these things, well, that's just too bad. Because you know what, Trump? You'll find yourself standing in the corner and get punished. And later on, punished in jail. In other words, I'm going neater. Okay? Same way with ICE. States, U.S. states, you know what you need to do? Have your state police, state and local, get together, get a game plan, round up all the ICE. And they say, well, they're federal. No, they're not. They don't act like they're federal, okay? The only federal I see is the FBI. But they fired, Noam is fired so many of them, and so is Bondi, uh, which is stupid because they're leaving themselves vulnerable if something goes wrong. Round up the ice. If I had my way, I'd take a rope and rope them and hog tie them, put them in jail and keep them there. And sure, they should not be wearing masks. Why are they wearing masks? Okay, what are they afraid of? And this thing with Noam singing, they're changing her outfit every 5 seconds. I seen DOJ, head of DOJ, and head of the FBI act much better than that. Okay, they're more professional. And when they work on a case, they do it where they don't want any of the evidence come out. They share the evidence with the defendant and everything else, but they don't sit there and arbitrarily make it a circus. And that's what they're doing. They're making it a circus. Okay? Let me hold on a second. I don't know why my comments are not working. Phone to work right. Okay, I'm still waiting for, I don't know why this is happening. Okay, hi Nancy, I see you. I love Menta. They sit there and I have my cell phone going right now, and Menta has a advertisement. Well, if they're going to advertise on my live thing, then they need to pay me. Pay every red cent. So anyway, yeah, sometimes I can't really understand the human race. And somebody says, well, it is what it is. Maybe so, but does it really have to be this way? Really? When you say when it is what it is, that's telling me you're putting your head in the sand. And Gene Shanky put out a thing saying, well, oh, come on. Says, well, people are out in the streets, and of course, Trump and company put out this narrative and everything else and smear all these lies about Miss Good and Mrs. Good and everything. Well, how would you, if you were dead, how would you like to have that done to you? You know? That's being disrespectful. Trump and company are being disrespectful. And people say, well, they don't care. Well, you know what? I don't care about Trump or his so-called administration either. They need to be fired. They need to be go. Bye-bye. Okay? I'm sick and tired of them being bullies. Oh, and speaking of bullies, you know what China's doing? They're going after the so-called unregistered churches. China, you know what I suggest you do is accept people from all faiths and let things run themselves and stop micromanaging your society. Knock it off. Yeah, I'm sticking my nose in another country, but that country's also full of human beings too, okay? You don't sit there and say, well, we're rounding up all the leaders under these unregistered churches, underground churches. Leave them alone. What is your problem? What are you afraid of? Were you really afraid of China? Okay? For example, it took Britain or United Kingdom a long time to start accepting faiths, all faiths, and let them worship any way people want to worship. If people don't want to go to church, fine. They could enjoy nature, enjoy quiet that way. So they accepted, Catholic, Protestant, some Protestant Methodists, Presbyterians, everybody, and let them worship they didn't want to worship. And the Catholic Church doesn't have a great big standing anymore, like it did back in the 1500s. And I felt the Catholic Church made some serious mistakes, and they shouldn't have not made those mistakes. Okay. So, we need to start accepting each other for who we are. Sure, we may agree to disagree. I mean, that's a given. But people like Trump saying they're trying to tell us what to do and what we can't do and everything else, we could turn around and turn the tables on them and tell them what they can't do, can and cannot do. And I hope Congress grows a great big spine and very strong spirit and say, no, we're gonna impeach you, all of you. Once they impeach Trump, everybody goes. The vice president won't be president. He'll be gone too. If you really read the 25th Amendment, how it's done, and how the impeachment works, do some little research. People need to stop being afraid of a petty little bully, 2-year-old brat, which Trump is. He is a brat. He's a spoiled brat. And his parents should have put him in a school of hard knocks and had his psychological thing corrected. His dad basically created a monster, is what happened. And his mom should have put her foot down. Now, the other thing that should happen, is the admirals during the Venezuela thing with our warships and everything else attacking. I'm sorry. Not attacking, but seizing oil tankers, Venezuelan oil tankers, killing fishermen and everything else. You know what? The generals and the admirals should tell Trump and Hegseth, no. That's illegal order. That's against international law. And be told that. Oh, I would have loved to tell that to Hegseth Dates. I said, no, you broke international law. Well, if you said, wait, they would say, how do you know that? And I go, I did my research. I did some homework. Hegseth didn't do any homework. He didn't know how anything runs either. Sure, he served in the National Guard, but he was so low on the totem pole, he didn't even bother to try to understand how everything works. Same way with Trump. Trump, he didn't serve in Vietnam because his bone spurs, well, bone spurs could easily be cured. Have surgery on them and then recover and then go go through basic training. Okay? Now, I had bone spurs, but I had it in the shoulder. Yes, I know feet are a different thing. They are. They are a different thing. But that doesn't excuse from Trump not going to Vietnam. Okay? Nowadays, I don't know what the Army or Force or the Armed Forces may reject you for as far as health things go. Because there's so much advancement in healthcare now compared to it was back then. Sorry, you're hearing. We have every Monday we have a gardening service come in and do trimming and blow the leaves away and everything here. So that's what you've been hearing. Uh, so sorry about that. But anyway, admirals in general need to tell them no. It's a legal order and it won't be followed. And therefore, the ships should be withdrawn. When you stop a Venezuelan oil ship, you're stopping the world economy right now. That's a very poor idea, very bad idea. Because other countries rely on oil, especially on the islands, they rely on it. People say, well, Trump doesn't care about that. Well, his problem is he doesn't care about anything. He's going to find himself out of a job. And I think we need to push harder on Congress and say, hey, impeach now. If the cabinet won't do it and Vance is too chicken shit to do it, sorry, I didn't mean to swear like that. Normally I don't do that. But he's too chicken to do it, then Congress should do it. Congress should impeach him. All these offenses that Trump did the past week, it's impeachable offense. He's not following the Constitution, not following anything else. Impeach the guy, get him out of there. Take all his perks and his power away from him. He doesn't have anything. And Trump throws a hissy fit because now the letters on the Arts Center has been removed. The Kennedy Center for Performing Arts. His name has been removed. And there was a lawsuit filed against him. Oh, speaking of lawsuits, I just heard on that. I would have to check on that and do that on my Wednesday chat show. Senator Mark Kelly just filed a big lawsuit against the Department of Defense. Because what they did, per code of military code, they were violating that just by trying to lower his pension and reduce his rank and everything. They can't do that. Once it's done, it's done. And that's the part that Hegseth doesn't understand. Hegseth, you're being stupid. Resign already. If you want to avoid impeachment, resign. Same way with you, Nomi, and Bondi. Let professionals in there. Resign. Trump, you need to resign. If you don't, we'll impeach you. And they start yelling and say, oh, well, that's blackmail. No, it's not blackmail. It's a choice. Big choice. So anyway, that's one of my pet peeves today. Let me see if I get this to work again. know what Menta is doing by making things difficult. Um, let's see. Oh, another thing too, Greenland is pissed. And so is Denmark. And they have every right to be. Let's see if I can find. I don't know why this is not showing up here. And it's not working. Um, Again, I don't know what Menta is doing on my thing here. But I would like to, since my chat show on my YouTube channel, I like to get more subscribers. I like to get way up there, okay? So, that way I could go live on YouTube. Anyway, I will see you on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And I don't have to worry about the thing for Thursday or anything, because Thursday I got a doctor's appointment on Thursday. Take care, stay safe. Insist, persist, and push back hard. Remember, you and I are the government. We're the government. Idiots right now in the Trump administration is who they are. They're idiots. We appointed them to do tasks on our behalf, and they're not doing them. They're doing dereliction of duty. Therefore, they need to be impeached. They need to be fired. And after all this is said and done, I think we need to sit down, do some changes on how to prevent this from happening again. Okay? We need to have better job descriptions and have the requirements in there for president. Required to serve, like if you served in a small town council, state and senatorial seats, the state legislature, served in the federal level for Senate and House Representative, like maybe one session as House Representative and maybe 2 sessions as Senator. And they'd be required to do their homework, do research and do homework. So they're up on everything, okay? This is how kids start when they want to do politics, like in grade school. Sometimes they have what they call class presidents. Same thing. They run for the office. High school, they run for the office. Then you have student councils at each grade level. Then you have class president, which is for seniors. Senior class president. Then you have junior and sophomore class presidents. That's how they get into learning how politics and everything works. Okay. Anyway, I will see you on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Take care. Stay safe. Again, insist, persist, and push back. I'll see you on Wednesday. I'll post this video on my YouTube channel. And I will talk to you later. And thank you for watching. And be sure to share too. Okay? Love you all. Bye-bye.